Hey everybody, well my mule's sick. Went out there yesterday and he was standing at the water trough and he just had his head in the water trough and just kept trying to get water over and over and over. He was irrigating his nose is what it appeared, but he was really struggling to get water down his throat, and I don't think he got any down. So for the 2 hours before I called the vet, he hadn't moved from the water. So I felt like he probably had a blockage in his throat or something, but I wasn't real sure. So called Doc, and Doc came out pretty quickly. He felt the same way, that he probably had a blockage. So he wanted to irrigate his throat. And so he wanted to stick a nose down his throat and then irrigate it and wash out any blockages that were in there. So he wanted to give him a shot to make him droopy, not knock him out, but just to make him drop his head down so that when he was irrigating him, it would drain out. And we gave him a shot enough for a 1,000-pound horse. That mule only weighs 900-ish pounds. And we gave it time to take effect, and we started to stick that hose up his nose and twitched his lip, and he wasn't having any part of it. So we ended up having to give him another shot so now he's got enough for 2,000 pounds in him. We waited for that to take effect, tried it again. He still wasn't having any part of it. So we ended up giving a third shot. Now he's got enough for 3,000 pounds. I'm starting to get a little bit worried. So we waited, and now he's got his head down, and I think we're pretty good. We try to stick that tube in him to irrigate him, and he ain't having any part of it. Got to give him a fourth shot. 4,000 pounds, enough for 4 horses. Now he's kind of relaxed and kind of droopy, and he fought us a little bit, but we were able to get it in there and get him irrigated. Doc told me that when the Clydesdales for the Budweiser were here, they were down in Atlanta. One of the Budweiser Clydesdales got a little bit of colic, 1,750 pounds. He gave him one shot. And he said that Budweiser Clydesdale fell over and knocked the tent down. We got 4 shots in this mule. He's standing up. You can lead him around. You can do whatever you want. He is fighting it hard. So anyway, we got him in there and got him irrigated. We washed out a little bit, but Doc wasn't real sure that we washed out enough. So we let him be. He drank, and that was a good sign. So we thought maybe it would wash it down. We went back over there and checked him this morning, and he was standing in the shade. And when I walked, he normally walks over to me, but he didn't do that. So I had to walk over to him, and when I did, he turned around and gave me his butt. He didn't want me to get to his nose. He was like, "You're not sticking anything up my nose." So he was trying to keep his butt in between me and his nose, him and his nose, or me and his nose rather. So anyway, had a little congestion and a little bit of runny nose, and I went over and looked in his water, and there was some snotty discharge in his water. So I called Doc. Doc's been in surgery all day. It's 7:45 at night. He'd been in surgery all day, and he called me and said, "Hey, I'm on my way over to the farm. Kind of worried about him catching pneumonia or getting a secondary infection with having liquid in his throat and stuff like that. I'm still not sure that the blockage is cleared up." So I'm on my way back over there, and Doc said he'd be there about 8:15 tonight. So we're going to get Chief out and check him out again. And I just wanted to give you an update of what was going on before we got over there. Hopefully he's going to be all right. So we're going to give him a real strong antibiotic tonight. Doc said we could just feed it to him, but since he hadn't seen a meat in the last 2 days, he didn't feel comfortable doing that. So he wanted to give him an injection of a broad spectrum antibiotic. So that's what we're on our way to do. So see you at the farm. Well, a good sign. Chief's up here at the gate. He's already looking at me. Joy's down there at the bottom. She's looking at me too, but Chief's up here at his water drinking. So that is an awesome sign. Let's just see how much water he's actually had. When I left him, he was down there in that bottom left corner down there. And he was just not eating, not drinking, blowing discharge out of his nose. But he's moving his tail and drinking water. So that's an excellent sign. That means that his throat's clear and he's able to pass water down it. And he's alert, he's looking, his ears are erect. Let's see how he is. Doc's not here yet. He'll be here in about 15 minutes, I think. He's backing away. Let's see here. That water bucket's empty. That one's got a little bit left in it. That one's empty. And that one's about half full, so he's been drinking a lot. Let's see what his nose looks like. He's got some discharge, but he's curious, which is good. Still got some food matter coming out. He's got some discharge in his eyes. His eyes are bright. Let's look at this eye. Here comes Joy. He's starting to pin his ears, so that means he feels pretty good. Shaking his head a little bit. There's Joy. So they're crabbing a little bit, so that's like normal behavior. Let me get him over there to the other pen before Doc gets here. All right, he's shaking his head. He just sneezed. As soon as I turned the camera off, he sneezed through his nose. And he's shaking his head, which is an indication that he's probably got some blockage up there. But as soon as I turned the camera off, he sneezed through his nose. But he's waving his tail, and there's no flies out here, so Joy's rubbing on me. She wants me to give her some loving. She's a real needy girl. All right, let me get these over to the other paddock before Doc gets here. All right, so Doc's back. And since Doc's gotten here, we got nasally discharge here. And he's blowing. So we're gonna give him some antibiotics, and he's still being bossy, so that's good. I'm gonna let Doc explain what we're about to do. So what are we about to do, Doc?
I'm going to listen to his lungs to see if they sound clear.
Joy wants to be in the video. I did notice he was shaking his head a couple of times, but it didn't appear to be neurological or anything.
Yeah.
It looked like it was more of a shake the snot out of my head. Joy, back, back.
His lungs sound, I don't hear any rattling noises in his lungs, but what we are, all the noise I'm hearing is coming from up here where the congestion is up here.
Okay.
So that's what that is about.
Joy, back.
Now, I'm going to give him an antibiotic shot just because if he had aspirated any of this fluid during this process, that can set up a pneumonia. And the worst case scenario is if some particulate matter got into his lungs, that would be even worse. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to try to give him an injection of an antibiotic. Usually they don't appreciate this. So I'm going to attempt to give it back here because it can make them a little sore. So if you'll scratch him on the shoulders and make him think you're loving and everything, and we'll see right here and get this.
Well,
shot.
his loving spot is his butt.
Yeah.
So
a little scratch back here that goes a long ways on it.
yeah, that's where he would rather be.
Yeah.
Oh, you already gave it to him.
Well, I got the needle in there. We'll see how that works out.
Was it the is it the needle or is it the fluid that's going in that hurts him or irritates him?
Well, both.
He didn't seem to mind the needle.
So far, so good. Scratch him a little bit.
Guys, it's about 8:40 and Doc doesn't ever go to sleep. He just works 24/7. His wife doesn't think he's married anymore, but Doc just, he went home and had to bury his daughter's 19-year-old cat
Yeah.
after work, and then he came out here. So that just shows you how dedicated he is as a vet. You don't find many vets that'll work past 5 o'clock, but old Doc, he's gonna stay out here until he gets the job done, and we're super appreciative of that.
Well, I hope this is gonna help him a little bit. We want to watch him for the next 2 or 3 days. Hopefully he'll get better. I'm going to leave you some phenylbutazone in a paste form, like a deworming size tube. And it has marks on there. Each one of those little marks will be 1 gram. So what we want to do is we're going to give him 2 grams tonight. And then for the next 2 days, give him 2 grams twice a day. 2 marks twice a day. So come in the morning, give it, last thing in the evening, give it. And then that'll help with the inflammation, soreness, etc. Hopefully the antibiotics will kind of cover us for any infection that could be going on. We just got to pray that there was no foreign bodies, material and feed particles got down in his lungs. If that happens, what you'll start seeing is that a more depressed animal having more trouble breathing 4 or 5 days down the road. It might get much worse. Like I say, the good thing is right now I don't hear any fluid sounds in here. All the noise and all the coarseness out here and the respiration is up there. And that goes to stands to reason because of all the activity we had a while ago. So what I'll do now is we'll go ahead and get the beet powder paste, and then we can give him that in his mouth there, and hopefully that'll take care of it. My horses like a scratch right about here.
Yeah, he likes that a lot.
Yeah.
He'll offer you his butt at any time that you're standing.
Yeah, a lot of my horses, people think they're going to get kicked because the horse starts backing up to them.
Yeah.
And what he's doing, they're coming back for a little attention.
That's right.
A little loving. He's a good boy. All right, well, let me get that paste and we'll give that to him as well.
Okay. I can hear him congesting as he's breathing.
So this is graded, little marks there, and there's like this is milliliters here, but what we're looking for is this one here. It says grams.
Okay.
So what we'll do is we'll take this, and roll it down to 2, and we'll squirt this in his mouth. And this is basically kind of like an analgesic. It's anti-inflammatory, so that's be 1, that'd be 2 right there. So we'll set it for 2, and then we'll give it to him. Hey girl, you're gonna be my buddy tonight, are you? She was a little leery the other day. She said that operation didn't look so good.
Yeah, no, that tube in the nose wasn't working too well.
I don't know how he's gonna go for this, but
He's like, oh gosh.
somebody's thinking too. That's exactly what we're doing. So this is doing more.
You gotta keep your mouth closed, bud.
I'll do that. What we really like to do is kind of get it up between his cheek teeth and his mouth there. And
Yeah.
Kind of, this is where you can't spit it out.
Right.
There you go. That's much better. Thank you, sir. Put the cap back on there.
Okay, good boy.
It works much better in his mouth than it does on the ground. This is just all wrong. First you come up, scratch my butt, give it a shot, and then he sticks them in my mouth. This is not good at all. There's that. His attitude and his just general demeanor is a lot prettier, much better.
Yeah. Well, like I said, he was 70% this morning better than he was yesterday, and he's 50% better than he was. He's 50% better tonight than he was this afternoon, than this morning.
Yeah.
And you see, he's just walking off where he just wanted to, you know, he just wanted to stand. He didn't want to do anything.
He was pretty depressed looking yesterday.
You're a big, pretty girl. And I'm sorry I missed your 7th birthday. Just totally slipped my mind. I would have given you a birthday apple or something.
Well, yeah, she said you make up for it. We'll give him 2 apples the next time. It'll work.
All right.
Pretty good old horses.